Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is Friday, August 1st, 2025, and it is a rainy, overcast day here in Franklin, but it's supposed to clear up later on, so that will be lovely. So I am all set for you today, and actually I am going to actually demonstrate both the Christmas card and the note card today because they're so much fun and because it's a rainy Friday morning, and why not? So as soon as that clock ticks to 10, we will officially start. And what else was I going to tell you? I forget. Oh, it's 10 o'clock. Okay, let us start. Good morning to everybody. If you are there, it would be nice if you put a little message on so that I can say hello. And if you want to send it to your friends too, that would be helpful because it's always helpful if I get more people to do what we love to do. So anyway, let's get started here. Here we go. Whoops. There we go. There we go. These are the cards. Good morning, Jan. Good morning. Good morning. Are you almost all settled in your new digs? Hopefully you got those boxes unpacked, but take your time. Just, there's no big rush, I'm sure. But anyway, here we go. These are the cards that we're going to make today. This is a pretty thank you card, thinking of you. Could be sympathy, could be whatever, but especially now. Hey, Donna, good morning, good morning, good morning. Oh, I'm so glad you're joining us this morning. I hope you're feeling a lot better, and I hope that lobster roll was delicious that you had on your birthday. Love lobster. So anyway, this is the card that can be used for so many different things, and this is just really fun to make. And then, of course, this is August, Christmas in August. This is the fourth card in our series, and I'm going to show you how to make that too, even though I typically don't show you how to do the Christmas cards, but I'm going to show you anyway. But let's start with this one first. Look at how pretty this is. Good morning, Cindy. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Not settled, but all moved. That's good. Well, that's good. Now you can just take your time, Jan. All right, so let me just show you this. So the first thing about this is you'll notice that there's a nice little rectangle of color here. And the way to do that is very, very easy. I'm just going to show you what you do. Well, let me get this out of the way. You just take a piece of basic cardstock. Now, what you need to do is you need to take the cardstock that's going to be the exact size of this layer. So this layer is 5 by 3 3/4. So you want to cut out a piece 5 by 3 3/4, and then you're going to decide where you want, how much of a perimeter you want. Thank you, Cindy. Thank you so much. You're going to decide how much of a border you want. And in doing that, you're going to take your ruler and you're going to measure out whatever it is. Now, on this one, I measured 1/2 inch. So I put tick marks all around all 4 sides. And then I drew a line. And then I took my score and cut it, my trimmer. And you put it in the trimmer and you make sure that the line that you have drawn is going to be in the track, right in here, in your track. Like this. And then you're going to take your cutter blade and starting at the 1/2 inch or whatever dimension you decided for your border, you start it and pull it all the way down to the 1/2 inch or whatever. And you do that on all 4 sides. And then when you finish that, then you have your template like this. And I did it, sometimes you just need to take your scissors to snip out the edges here. So there's one, and then there's this one. But this template can be used over and over and over again. And it's a great way to make a really pretty border like I'm going to show you in a nanosecond. Okay, so there it is. So here is your template. All right, so then what you're going to do is you're going to take your cardstock, and here is my piece. Here is my template that I've already used, and here is the piece of 5 by 3 3/4. And the important thing about this is you really need to make sure that this is exactly where you want it. And in order to do that, I'm going to take some Post-it notes, and I'm just going to, what I'm going to do is cut this little Post-it note in half, and I'm going to do it like this. And I'm going to fold it over so that this is not going to move. It's going to be nice and secure on all 4 sides. Because if it moves, then you're not going to get that nice crisp inside like we have here. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to do the fun part. We're going to take some ink. And I chose 3 different inks. Actually, this is a card that I copied from a demonstrator. I think her name was Cindy, gosh, what's her name? Cindy Mitchell. Cindy Mitchell, that's who it is. And I think she's from the UK or Australia. But anyway, so now I'm going to take the first color that I'm going to use is Garden Green. And I'm just going to use my blending brush and I'm going to add a little bit of ink. And I'm just going to start adding it in like this. Just like this. Just like that. And I think that's pretty good. And see how it just kind of, it kind of gives that Monet effect because I'm not adding any more, but it just kind of blends. It's a little bit dark and then it goes to light. So I'm all done with that for the moment. And then the next one I'm going to take is Blackberry Bliss, one of my favorite colors. I love this color. I love this thinking of, thank you, Jan. All right, let me take my Blackberry Bliss. Here we go, and I'm just going to get some ink on this. And again, I'm going to hold that down, and I'm just going to start just like that. There we go. And then I'm going to put this over here. Notice I'm not closing them. I have a reason for that. Now I'm going to take Bubble Bath. And this just reminds me of bubble gum. And again, I'm going to take some of the ink like this, and I'm just going to add it in like that. Look at how fun that is. Fun, fun, fun. It leaves a little bit more. There we go. And I'm pretty happy with the way this is looking. Okay, now I'm going to take my little Post-it notes off very easily, very carefully. And look at that. Isn't that pretty? Wait a minute. There we go. That's how it's going to look. And save this template. You can put this template wherever you want, but just save it because it's a nice little tool to have. All right, now, before I put my inks away, what I'm going to do is bring in the card and show you. This is the inside. This is my 5 1/4 by 4 inch piece, which will be the layer that I'm going to use on the inside. And what I did was I took the embossing folder, which is called Layered Florals, and I ran the bottom of it through the folder so that I have just this embossed layer on the inside, which I think is absolutely beautiful. And then I did the exact same thing on the envelope flap like that. So that's that. So, but on the inside, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my Bubble Bath and I'm just going to add just a little bit of color to some of these flowers, just like that, just a tiny little smidge like that. All right, I'm all done that. Just gives it a nice little extra pizzazz, don't you think? And I'm going to come in with my Garden Green, just a little bit on the leaves, just a little bit there and there, just a little tad, just to give it a little bit of extra interest. And then I'm going to take the Blackberry Bliss and do the exact same thing. Whoops, 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 whoops. All right, let me get that out of the way. All right, just a little bit. Isn't that cute? Isn't that pretty? It just gives it just a little bit of extra interest. I think that's really, really pretty. All right, so now we're going to get to the base of the card, which is Blackberry Bliss. Let me move this out of the way. And let me take my bone folder, my trusty tool. I just love our tools. I really do. Okay, so this is this. We had a tree fall down last night. We had a lot of rain in our neck of the woods. It was really crazy. And we had a tree just fall right down, which was really crazy because Jack was watching something. I had a big meeting here. You know why I'm trimming this out? Because it's a little bit long on one side. As I told you before, I have no idea why that happens once in a while when I'm cutting on my on my cutter, it doesn't, and then I score it, it doesn't get exactly precisely where I want it. So I just trim it out, no big deal. All right, so now there is this, and there is this, and there is this. So what I shall do now is I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it right on. Oh, wait. One other thing. Silly me. I forgot. I have to go run this through the folder because obviously you can't do it afterwards. So I'm going to go put this and run this right through. This is the Layered Florals embossing folder. So I'm going to run this through. Hold on 1 second. I'll be right back. Right back. Almost done. All right. There we go. I'm back. There. Isn't that pretty? Doesn't that look lovely? I just think it's so pretty. So now this is going to get attached to the bubble bath layer. And my little silicone pad is right here. And I really want to make sure I get plenty of adhesive on this because of the nooks and crannies when you, like I say a million times, when you have a folder that's got a lot of dimension to it, you really want to make sure that it stays nice and secure to your base. All right, so that's going to go in like this. And then, now I want to show you, obviously, my cutter needs to have a new mat. I don't know if you can see these little hairy pieces right here, but that annoys me. And that just tells me that my mat needs to be replaced. But the trick to this, and I've told you this before, is you just run your fingernail toward the back of the paper, and that's going to smooth that right out. See that? Perfect. Now, the next thing is to take a piece of this really pretty ribbon, this white satin ribbon with a silver edging. I love it. And I'm just going to add some adhesive on this side. And I'm going to put this on like this. And then I'm going to make sure that it folds very nicely like that. It does. And then I have to give it the eyeball treatment from this end because that's the way it's going to look. And that looks pretty good to me. So now what I shall do is add the adhesive to get it attached to the base of the card. All right. All right, now here is my blackberry blackberry bliss, not bush. Oh gosh, Barbara, there we go. Here we go. Isn't that pretty? There's another little furry area there. Okay, so that gets pressed down. And then I went ahead and I already stamped the Thinking of You. And I used our double oval punch and punched out both the Thinking of You and a Blackberry Bliss layer. So let's just get this on here like this. Okay. And then this is going to get put on with dimensionals. And once again, because this ribbon, hey Pam, thank you so much for joining in. I thought you might be at work this morning, girlfriend, but I'm glad you're joining in. That's great. I hope we can talk later on. I have a very crazy question to ask you. All right, so as you can see, I'm putting a lot of these dimensionals on. And the reason I'm doing that is because I want to make it stick. If I just put dimensionals right down the middle, as I've said a million times, it would stick to the ribbon, but it wouldn't stick to the cardstock very well. So I want to make sure it's going to stick to that cardstock very nicely. So I'm just going to pull these off and pop this on. And then we get to choose some pretty embellishments. Look at how pretty that is. Oh. All right, there's that. Now let's get the inside done. Look at how pretty that inside is. Isn't that lovely? I just think it's such a pretty card. Oh, the little things in life that make me very, very happy. And I'm making a bunch of these. Actually, I'm making a lot. Two of my friends and I are doing 3 holiday fairs this year in November. We're doing one in Acton at a church, and then we're doing the Shriners Auditorium Fair, which is a 3-day event. It's a huge event. So anyway, so I'm making a lot of box sets for gifts. Okay, put that in like that. Isn't that pretty? Look at how pretty that inside looks. Isn't that lovely? Okay, now, oh, you know what happened, Pam? In order for me to do my lives, I have to use my telephone. I have to use my phone. So my phone is actually my camera that I'm using so that you can see the projects that I'm doing. So once I disassemble that later on today after my live is over, if you can call again, that would be great. Okay, so now this is ready for some embellishments. Now, on this one, I used these really pretty iridescent faceted ones. I think they're absolutely gorgeous. On this one, I'm going to use these rhinestones that are basic jewels, which are so pretty too. I love, love, love these too. I mean, I have so many, and you can choose whatever you want. So I'm going to select, let's see, we're going to put 3 on. I'm going to put 1 there. Look at how pretty that looks with that. Isn't that pretty? And I just love the way it is faceted. You know what? I think I'm going to put a larger one on. Yeah, let's put this one up here. There. You know what? I think what we should do is we're going to do 5. I can't, yeah, well, let's put 1 here. There. All right, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Now 1 more, 5. In my head, I absolutely cannot have an uneven number for some reason. That's just the art world, whatever it is. You have to have odd numbers. I don't know who said you have to have odd numbers, but anyway. There's the call. There's the card. All right, isn't that pretty? I just love it, and it was so much fun to do. And here's the envelope. Now, I certainly could have added some color to this, and I might later on. I don't know. We'll see. But then the inside is beautiful. Isn't that just gorgeous? I love it. I love it. I love it. So that's the card, one of the cards that we're going to do for next week, Monday, Tuesday classes. All right, now let's show you the Christmas card. And I wasn't going to demonstrate it, but I am because it's just so much fun. And I love, love, love this Bauble Bloom stamp set with the dies that you get if you choose to get the bundle. So let's just start, and I'll show you how to do this. This is very easy too, and it's fun. All right, so I'm going to start with a basic white base, and again, the fold and the Christmas with the bone folder. There we go. Okay, now the next layer is going to be a piece of Pretty Peacock, and then I'm going to add some silver on top of that. At first, when I did this, I decided not to use any silver, but then I looked and I said, you know what? The silver would really, whoa, where is my, here it is. Why did I even put that back? Yeah, but the silver is making the ornament even stand out more. So I said, you know, let's do a layer of this. All right, so this is here, and this is going to go on the Pretty Peacock layer. And this is a tiny little layer. I mean, a little perimeter, maybe 1/1/28 of an inch, like this, okay? All right, now the next thing is this is going to go on the base of the card. And I tend to use adhesive on all 4 sides because, once again, I want to make sure that it's going to stay where it's supposed to stay. You know what? This is off just a tiny little bit, and this is going to annoy me. So let me just see if I can come in with my my little trimmer here and trim a little bit. Now, it's a little tricky since I've already put the adhesive on, but let's see if I can finagle this bagel just a tiny little bit. Just a tiny bit. Now, there we go. Oh, that's much better. Okay, that would have annoyed me. I'm not OCD about a lot of things. This I am. All right, now we're going to put this on like this. Perfect. All right, so that's that. Now, the next thing is I took this really pretty brand new Jolly Holly hybrid folder. I love it. It's hybrid because it not only embosses, but it embosses and cuts, and it's beautiful. And so what I did was I just ran it through the embossing folder. I didn't use the die to go on top of it because I didn't want that image. But I just pulled, I just ran it through like this. So this is going to go on top of the silver, and there is going to be a little bit larger border around because I wanted the silver to really be prominent on this layer, and you'll see that in a minute. Good morning, Steph. Good morning, my Stephanie. Nice to see you popping on. I'm sure she's at work. We won't tell anybody. We won't. Okay, so there's that. Now we get to do the fun part, the other fun part. All right, which is I'm going to take a piece of very basic white cardstock. And in order to get this beautiful image of this ornament, you have to stamp it 3 times. So we're going to use Pretty Peacock. And I've already got these labeled, which is important because, well, it's important if you want it to be important. Like there are 3 stamps, this one, and this one. And they all have a little bit different configuration. So what I want to do first is I want to take stamp number 1, which I labeled it stamp number 1, and I'm just going to come in and I'm going to take my Pierce pad. And I'm going to put this on because this is a photopolymer stamp. So I'm going to ink it up and I'm going to stamp it. There is number 1. See that pretty design? All right, now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take stamp number 2. Now with stamp number 2, I have to line it up. But the best thing to do with this is you're going to line it up with the flowers, and I'll show you that right now. I'm inking it up, and then I'm going to stamp it off because I don't want it full strength. So I'm going to come in and I'm hoping that my head isn't going to get in the way. But the whole point is these flowers are going to line up with these flowers that I've already inked up. So it's going to come right down, and you have to be pretty precise with this. Like right like that. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? And then we're going to take stamp number 3, which is right here, stamp number 3. And ink this up, and we're going to come in and we're going to, again, using these flowers as the centerpiece, and the lineup is you're going to line this up with the flowers just like this. Let me just make sure I get this right. You want it to be perfect. And there we go. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Oh my gosh, I just absolutely love it. So now, let me just take this out of the way, get this out of the way. All right, now I'm going to bring in my little Stampin' Cut machine, and I'm going to take the ornament, and I am going to put it on here like this. And you have quite a border around this. I kind of like this. All right, so there's that. Now, if you wanted to put some, let me bring this in so you can see it, of course. If you wanted to put a little bit of washi tape on it, you can. I'm kind of bold, and I just don't think that I need to do the washi tape on this one. So I'm going to run it through, and ta-da! Look at that. Isn't that pretty? And I love the stitching around that. Isn't that beautiful? I think it's just so pretty. This would be absolutely stunning in so many different colors. All right, so now what I shall do is I shall take some dimensionals and, you know, maybe, I don't know, this many. And I'm going to pop this off, and when we're in class on Monday and Tuesday, hey, Dawn, good morning from wow, another one of my Canadian friends. I'm so excited that I have people from all over the place here. All right, so now let me put this on just like this. Now I shall bring in my little topper, and I already cut that out with metallic silver. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dawn. All right, now I'm going to take this and I'm going to put 2 dimensionals on it, but I'm going to cut them in half because I don't want them show, obviously. If they did show, I would trim it out a little bit. So there's one like that, and there's one like that. I put them on upside down. Then I'm going to take a little tiny, and when I say sliver, I mean a sliver of this. And I'm going to just do this on the top of it because I do want this to stand out. I want it to be popped up just as the ornament is. And so let me do this right here. I'm going to do that tiny little piece just like that. And that's going to be fine. All right, so I'll take these little pieces off. And this one. There we go. And I'm going to put this on right here. Just like that. Now, I can see a little tiny little bit. So I am going to take my pick-me-up tool, and I'm just going to push this back underneath that. There we go. That's better. I know this is a little tedious, so maybe I should have made it a little bit smaller, a little bit thinner, but that's okay. All right, now I've also got a silver and white bow, and to put this on, I am going to put it on with glue dots. Now I'm going to put one glue dot right at the top here. There. Actually, I didn't even have to worry about that dimensional showing because this is right here. And then I'm going to pop this one off. And then I'm going to fold it up on top of itself because obviously I don't want any sticky being available to stick to the envelope. And then I'm going to take another one and I'm just going to put it on the side like that and pop this off. You probably wouldn't need to do this. I don't know, maybe you would. I don't know. I'm so anal about this because I want to make sure that these ribbons stay. There's a tad of thickness to it. All right, so now I'm just going to put this on like this and press it nicely. And I just want to feel with my fingers to make sure that it's not going to be, there's no extra adhesive popping out, and there isn't. So there is that. Now I'm still not done. What I'm going to now do is I'm going to take some gem. Well, first of all, I'm going to take a Wink of Stella because you know me and Wink of Stella. And here is my Winky. And I'm just going to just lightly do the leaves here, just a little bit. One little swipe with Winky, just to give it a little bit of extra shine and dazzle, because it's a beautiful card for the holidays. So look at how easy and fast that is. Just a little bit. I know that you probably can't see it as well as you would in real life. I mean, if you were here with me right now, but that's good. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the flowers. Just add a little bit of Winky and with a few of these leaves as well. I love this pattern. It's so pretty. And this will be beautiful with, oh, this Winky's running out. I use so much Winky, it's unbelievable. But I've got an order coming today. I think I got 20 more Winkies coming. So I'll be all set for a while because sometimes people in my class need a Winky, and it's nice that that is one thing that we can stock. All right, so there's that. And then what I'm going to do is I am going to take some of our Dazzling Diamonds. I don't think we sell it anymore, but for some reason, this has a little bit of a magnetic capability. So I'm just going to dazzle it on like this. Just a little sprinkle of salt, just like I'm salting up a stew or a vegetarian something. And then I'm just going to tap this off. And most of it will stay. There's the chemistry. There is something that happens. I don't know. It just does. Okay, there we go. Look at how pretty that is. I'm still not done because now I'm going to take some gems. And I'm going to take these really tiny ones that have, thank you, Pam, that have just a little bit of adhesive on. And I'm going to add 5 of them. I like the fact that they are on a line because you can put them on with your finger because that's what sometimes happens, or you can use your pick-me-up tool. Take your pick tool. All right, so there's 3, and then I'm going to put 1 in each center of the flower. Isn't that pretty? Like that. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I need 2 more. I do. I just think it needs a little bit more. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, but you can't have 6. It's got to be an odd number for some reason. Don't ask me why. I don't know why, but I think it looks nice. Okay, so there's that. And we're almost done, but we have to do the inside. So the inside, what I shall do here is I'm going to take my embossing buddy and just rub this on like this. Hi, Barbara Stratton. How are you? From Upper Maine. And I'm going to take this message that says, joyous wishes to you and yours. Take my Versamark. And I am going to stamp this right here. Oh, I should have used my Pierce pad. Oh, well, let's see. Oh, it looks like it's going to be okay. Hardly ever do I forget my Pierce pad. I did right then, but that's okay. I'm going to take some silver embossing powder because I think it's just going to be a beautiful card with silver. I could have done it with the Pretty Peacock ink, and some of them I might. You just never know. But look at that. Isn't that pretty? Now, let me get this out of the way because we don't want a flurry of silver embossing powder in the sky here. Now, give me a minute to heat this up. And by the magic of chemistry, here we go. It's starting right now. Look at that. Oh, I love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. Cooked. It's cooked. And look at that. Isn't that pretty? Joyous wishes to you and yours. And there's the card. And then the envelope, I did the same thing with the envelope, only this time I got a little bit more fancy. All is well. Finally got some cooler weather. Yeah, we did last night too, Barbara. Although it's going to get nicer and warmer for us. So this is the bottom of the envelope, the front part, and then I did the flap as well. So isn't that pretty? I just think it's such a beautiful card. So that's one that we're going to do next week. And then here is the other one we're going to do next week, Monday, Tuesday. So I hope that you like these cards today. It's been wicked fun making them. And I can't even believe we're already 4 weeks into our Christmas in July and now August. So anybody who's on this roll with me, you're going to have a nice selection of cards come November for certain. So that is it for today, my friends. I hope that you have a very lovely weekend and your week is happy and uneventful. And I will see you next Friday, a week from today, same time, same place. I love you all for your support. It means a lot.